Movement is a key element of all fighting games, and in a 3D fighter like Tekken, effective movement is necessary to take down most opponents. Movement is used both in neutral and when you are engaged with your opponent. It allows you to create distance and to close a gap. It can help to make your attacks connect and force your opponent's attacks to whiff. The majority of movement options are accessible to the whole cast, although they may work differently from character to character, such as the distance of a dash or a sidestep, or the evasive properties that come with it. Some characters have unique movement options, generally taking advantage of transitions to or from stances, or particular states, such as a forward sway, a back sway, and a crouch dash. This video will mostly be focusing on movement that is accessible to the whole cast of Tekken 7, or at least multiple characters. Before we get into anything too complicated, let's look at the basics. Moving the direction toward your opponent will make you approach them. You will be vulnerable to all attacks during this. If you quickly input this direction twice, you will perform a forward dash, closing the gap much faster. Moving the direction away from your opponent will make you walk away from them. While doing this, you will block any high or mid attacks, but still be vulnerable to lows or throws. Once again, if you input this direction twice, you will perform a backdash, creating distance between you and your opponent much faster. Moving the direction up will make you jump. You can combine this with forward or back to jump in the chosen direction. This isn't used very commonly unless you're using a character such as Akuma, Eliza or Geese with their unique movement options. Moving the direction down will make you crouch. You are unable to move backwards while crouching, but can combine the input to move forward while crouching. Moving forward while crouching, or pressing the down and forward directions at the same time, is also the input to low parry. If you tap the direction up, your character will sidestep into the background. Likewise, if you tap the direction down, your character will sidestep into the foreground. For many characters, this will give you access to new moves. Please note that you cannot sidestep into the foreground while you are crouching. For both of these inputs, if you tap the direction and then immediately press and hold it again, you will perform a sidewalk, allowing you to keep moving in the chosen direction. If you slide the direction from down to down forward to forward, then you will perform a forward sway for characters that have it available. If you slide the direction from down to down back to back, then you will perform a back sway for characters that have it available. For these characters that have these options, this will give you access to different moves. Finally, if you move the direction toward the opponent and then instantly perform the input for a forward sway, you will perform a crouch dash for any character that has it, a movement option that was also mentioned earlier. Let's get to what I believe is the most interesting part of movements in Tekken 7, and that is cancelling movements. With the exception of jumping, if you're performing any of the previously mentioned options, you can cancel the movement into another movement option. Depending on the movement you're performing, you may be limited by your options, and trying to cancel a movement into the same movement again will not work. These cancels allow you to perform some of the more advanced movement options in the game, such as the wave dash and the Korean backdash. A wave dash is performed by linking successive crouch dashes together, but as I mentioned earlier, you cannot just perform a movement into itself successfully. So, to allow this you need to consider the inputs. A crouch dash starts with a forward input and ends with a forward input. By timing things correctly, you can cancel the crouch dash into a forward dash because of this, and then use the input of the forward dash as the start input of your crouch dash. The input would look like forward, quarter circle forward, forward, quarter circle forward, forward, so on. The Korean backdash is performed by linking successive backdashes together. Once again, doing a backdash into a backdash will not work, and so we need to use another movement option to cancel the input. So as to continue moving backward, the best option is crouching for an instant. The easiest way to perform this for most characters is to initiate the backdash and then perform the backsway motion as it starts with a down input and ends in a back input, which can then be used to begin the next backdash. This would look like back, back, quarter circle back, back, quarter circle back, back. Of course, this will not work for any character who has a backsway, and this is where we need to take advantage of down back also working as an input to place the character in crouching. A similar motion can be performed as above, but with negating the down input and instead just using the down back input. This would look like back, back, down back, 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 down back, back, so on. Timing is key with these inputs, and many options in Tekken aren't going to be learned overnight. For example, with the Korean backdash, if you perform it as fast as you can, you're not going to move back very quickly. Also, if you hold the down or down back input too long, you're leaving yourself vulnerable to being hit by mid-attacks due to being in a crouching state. The key there is to cover as much distance with the backdash as you can, and then cancel it with a crouch for as short a period of time as possible. Never underestimate the importance of good movement in a fighting game. I hope you have found value in this video and those to come as we explore more Tekken 7.